A lot of people reviewed it from the moment we announced it. I'm like, hey, I'm going to make a movie with my daughter, and Johnny Depp's in it, and his daughter's going to be in it too. And right away, I saw like fucking The Long Sharp Knives come out. And so, as expected, it goes to Sundance. And, you know, so I'm not saying this movie's for everybody. It's for like 10 people in the world. But the 10 people that love it will love it like religion and stuff.
Well, haven't you always done that, though? You just kind of do what you like to do.
Story of my life,
If I could turn it around and turn on you, what I like about what you do is you're very much an accepted inside guy who lives like some guy from Jersey who's trying to break into the business.
Is that like, this is useful because you never really understand how people, professionals, see you. You know how the world sees you because they'll tell you at any given moment.
Yeah.
Joe Normal or Sally Normal, people who live in the real world and shit. But your peers and people like we work in entertainment and shit.
Yeah.
How? Tell me that again.
You're very unaffected. You're a uniquely unaffected guy.
But also like ineffective at the same time?
No, you're very effective. You're effective at doing what you enjoy. And that's why you have such a unique and loyal fan base, is because they know it's like, in this world, there's not a whole lot of unique visions. There's a lot of ideas. They get brought to producers and executives, and a bunch of people pile in, and it becomes more of an idea where it's trying to appeal to a broader audience, and it switches up, and then someone wants to bring in a love interest. There's all sorts of influences that happen that homogenize as you drink some milk.
I know, that was
My
perfect
man
timing.
His milk.
Oh my Lord, that was perfect. The perfect timing of a stand-up comic. Well done.
It does really. That's the best word for it, because even though if it's good, like you don't feel like that guy. Like Tarantino is one of the unique guys where even though his movies are these gigantic mega blockbusters, it feels like
he's doing his own thing.
Yeah, it feels like this crazy fucker just got the money and the wheels, and they're listening to him because he's Tarantino. Your movies are the same kind of
also
feeling.
Connects with more people.
Yeah,
there's more of a like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's cinema of cool. Because you could just look at, even if you don't have an experiential connection to it, like, oh, I once went to a 50s cafe, as per Pulp Fiction. You're just like, that looks badass.
Yeah.
Seeing John Travolta dance with Uma Thurman, that's badass. All the way up to the most
everything.
recent. Yeah, everything about it is just like cinema of cool. And fed by a lifetime of movie loving and a movie diet.
Yeah.
So if you love movies, here's a guy that distills everything that's the essence of cool of cinema. And I don't want to keep hitting the cool bell because people are like, come on, that's a hipster term. But it does distill it down to those moments. Not so much like massive arcs, but, ooh, this feels awesome. Oh, that's dope. Oh, that's metal.
Well, yeah, you have that same kind of thing. Your movies
For
are very
few people.
Well, it's your comedies.
I think I'm the only one
Your
left.
comedies in particular, like that was one of the more interesting and unique things about Red State, because you didn't tell me a word about it. You said I don't want you to know nothing. Just come in and sit
dry,
there.
which sounded filthier than I meant it.
And me and Marin sit there and watched it, and we're at the end of it. We're like, holy shit! Like holy shit! Like what the fuck was that? Like that movie was crazy.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a comedy at all.
It's nice to be able to every once in a while like throw him a curve and be like, oh, he's nice. We thought we saw everything. Like I always felt most people saw me as like, oh, he did Clerks and then he's done about 96 variations.
People
on Clerks.
need to see Red State. If you haven't seen Red State, that is I don't want to say too much because I want people to go into it the way I went into it. Just go see that fucking movie. But that's another movie where even though it wasn't like the same voice, it was still a unique voice. Right. You know, it's like, I don't know what it's like to make a movie, but it's got to be a lot of people have a lot of say.
Depends what your budget is. The bigger the budget, the more, you have to listen to a bunch more people. And you can't be unreasonable about it. If you get tremendous amounts of success, like J.J. Abrams, and you're a nice guy at the same time, you can get away with being like, I'm going to do whatever I want. And people are like, what you want tends to work, so here, go nuts. But generally speaking, the more money you accept, the more input you also have to accept. Lower the budget, and if it's coming out of your pocket, you don't got to say shit to anybody, or nobody could tell you anything. But, if you're putting together something small, it's still a smaller circle of people to kind of answer to. And you always have to be willing to hear what they're saying. If somebody's willing to give you ungodly amounts of money to make pretend, mind you, this is not like, I'm going to give you funds and you're going to give me eggs, and then I'm going to sell those eggs, and I'm going to make more money selling those eggs. They're like, we're going to give you money, and you're going to take this goofy fucking idea you have and try to make it real and turn it into a movie that may work or may not work. It's all a crapshoot. It's like buying a lottery ticket to a large degree. No guarantees that there'll ever be an audience for it. So I learned that midway in my career and realized, well, just work for you. Sounds masturbatory, but it's like, if you're the audience that you're trying to hit, then you'll always be satisfied. You know, it's like if you want other people to like it, it's subjective, and you may not find that people dig what you're doing. And, you know, if you're looking for monetary success, good luck. Nobody can guess that. Like, even when Marvel releases a new movie, and we know Marvel is exceptional at what they do, put them in Pixar. Marvel, Pixar, I don't care, the best of the best. Even when they release a movie, they clench a little bit because they're like, anything could happen. Yeah. Like, anything could happen at all. So, generally speaking, they're a little more insulated from like, oh shit, we lost money.
Well, especially those Marvel movies are so expensive now because they make CGI.
Dude, it's like the same thing with the animated movies. The animated movies are ungodly expensive to make, but they print money. And they print money not just the first time they come out at the box office. They print money through all the licenses. They print money where, you know, sometimes you go like, they're doing a sequel to that. Why? Why don't they do something new? Because they've already built the world. It's already there in a computer. And they're like, all we need is a new script. And we're good. We've done our infrastructure. Like, when you think about it, if you were building something, you built all this massive infrastructure and spent 3 years putting it together and did it once. And then you're like, okay, everybody, goodbye forever. It's kind of a waste of everything you put together. That's why they immediately go for a sequel. No, A, they know they're going to make money, but B, they're going to make more money because they don't have to invest as much time and money as they did the first time. So that's what makes a studio go like, oh, that's easier. That's low-hanging fruit. And everyone's happy. You know, it's not like they're making art films that only a few people like. Generally, they tend to make flicks that a bunch of people want to go see. And that riles up people that want to see newer films or something like that, because like, why is it always the same movie over and over again? But, you know, I submit to you, if you're going to see a superhero movie, expect a little fucking sameness. It's a story of like an exceptional being with powers that others don't, and hopefully that person will use it for good. You know, you can only cut that cheese so many fucking times where and say it's something new.
Other than The Watchmen, I think The Watchmen took it to a new place.
Yeah, and I love The Watchmen, but at the end of the day, it's just like people in mass doing the right thing. And yeah, they fucked in space, but other than that, it's people in mass trying to do the right thing.
They were murdered too. They murdered each other. Like it was
they caught up in Batman v Superman. I heard there were some murders in that movie. In the movie, I was like, did they say somebody fucking died in prison? and over Batman? You know, they went in strange directions.
Well, it's a stacked fucking division. I mean, look, you still have Yoel Romero at the top of the heap. I don't know what they're doing with him. I mean, he was supposed to be fighting Boachina.
Paulo Costa. Boachina.
Yeah, who's a fucking monster. Yeah, if anybody who's not on steroids, who looks like they're on steroids, it's him and Yoel Romero.
They're all on fucking steroids.
Let's be
well. It's not that easy these days with USADA, but come on, some of them are on steroids.
Some of them probably are.
Joe,
but who's on? Okay,
you're telling me that you don't believe that Yoel Romero ever took a steroid in his life?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I definitely didn't say that. I think it's possible. It's totally possible.
How's that fence you're sitting on? I get it. I get it. But I mean, it's a tough scenario for you to be in.
No.
UFC commentator.
I'm fucking honest, bro. Yeah. If I believe it, I'll say it.
And let's not forget he tested positive. There was that whole...
Yes.
Anytime somebody says it was a tainted supplement, it's bullshit.
You never tested positive for anything.
Never tested positive in my life. Let me tell you something. I'm not a guy that scours the back of everything I read. I'm a careless motherfucker. I really am. I wish I wasn't, but I am. I'll just go through my life doing what I do. I've been tested a million times, never come close. Okay? Some other guys, they blow up the lab. Yeah. You know? There's no smoke without fire. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I remember there was talk years back, before USADA, there was talk of certain camps that would hire guys who knew testing. And these guys would orchestrate a program for these fighters to make sure that they didn't get caught. And that they would figure out ways to taper off, but still keep your gains and make sure that you didn't test positive at all. And this was done under the assumption that everyone else was cheating as well. And this was, for a long time, that was how a lot of people viewed the sport. There was guys like you, BJ Penn. There was a few guys that you just knew weren't going to do anything. It was their word. They said they were never going to do anything.
Sure.
And they never looked like they did anything. You always maintain the exact same physique throughout your entire career.
Well, the thing is, I think where it started getting a little weird, and I don't want to bang on about steroids too much because that's been a narrative that I've over.
Yeah.
You know, I've said my piece about that.
Right.
I don't want to, bang on about it too much. But I think where the waters really got murky is when TRT came in.
Yes.
When testosterone replacement therapy became a thing, and all you had to do was go to your doctor and said, hey, I can't get a hard on or whatever, and all of a sudden they sign you off and you're on TRT. No, I know.
Even worse, you could take steroids first and then come off of it so your testosterone was low.
Oh, really?
And you go to a doctor and say, I have low testosterone.
Oh, of course, yeah, because it messes up your natural production of it.
This is what guys did. Guys took steroids and then went in afterwards and said they have low testosterone because they were on steroids.
Sure, no, exactly. So then it became legal. And then you had all these guys coming out there saying, if I'm not on TRT, I'll die. And then they outlawed it, and then 10 years later, some of them are still fighting to this day.
Yes.
Without naming names, you know who you are. Shame on you.
Well, we've talked about TRT Belfort. TRT Vitor Belfort forever. I mean, that was when he was on TRT, he was a different kind of human being. He was just completely different than he is in any other circumstance.
Oh, yeah, looking back, you can see that. I mean, because when I fought him on TRT.
You fought him when he was at the super Vitor level.
Absolutely. He looked like fucking the Incredible Hulk.
He had
but
muscles on his fucking eyebrows.
Yeah, looking back, you can see that, but at the time, as a fighter, you can't think like that. You know what I mean? What are we looking at? Oh. That doesn't even do it justice.
No, that doesn't do it justice.
Nah.
That's supposed to be before and after. Yeah.
I'm just recovering from a cold at the week. I'm a little congested, so I keep coughing.
The real key is
a better one.
That's better. That's way better. That's much more accurate. And he's a guy who was known to take things. I mean, he took things early in his career. Remember when he fought Randy when he was 19? He was 240 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
His neck started at the top of his head.
Yeah, but I remember there was a picture of us both on the scale in Brazil, and looking back now, you go, holy shit. Anyone else would think, oh, have you seen this guy? He's kind of big, blah, 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 blah. But you don't think like that at the time. You can't as a fighter. If you start having those thoughts, those doubts, if you start looking at a fighter's physique and thinking, oh, he looks good, you've already lost,
right.
But in hindsight, you can look back and say, holy fuck, what was I thinking? This guy's fucking roided out of his mind. I remember on there, I was trying to get a rise out of him, and he kept putting his hand in my face. I'm not a religious guy, and God bless anyone that is. I mean that. I respect everyone's opinions, but I'm not. And as we know, Vitor is heavily religious, and he kept sticking his thing in my face. He was pissing me off. So I said, Vitor, come here. And he leans in. I said, there is no Jesus. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Me getting dropped with a head kick in the second round. Maybe that was God thwarting me. Who knows?
What did he say?
Some fucking Portuguese bullshit. I don't know.
Man, you don't play MMA. It's your life.
It's interesting too that Ali. I always like to watch that fight with Jerry Quarry because it was after 3 years off.
Yeah, man.
And you see his body looks different.
Yeah.
It just looks softer. If you see Ali versus like Cleveland Williams, and then you see Ali 3 years later, after all that time off, he just doesn't look the same. He was never really the same again.
He wasn't. But when you think about why he did it, imagine having the Constitution to give away the prime of your fighting career to not do that.
Yeah.
It's very special.
Because they wanted him to fight in the Vietnam War. He's like, this is a bullshit war.
This is bullshit. None of them ever called me the N-word. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm not going over there to do that. They took this prime.
Yep.
You got that window as a fighter, man.
Yeah.
It's like 4 to 6 years. And half of it was taken.
It's kind of amazing, too, that they did that, and then they gave it back to him. They let him fight again. I don't know what was the circumstances. Like, how did they reinstate his boxing license?
I actually don't remember.
I don't know either. But I remember when he fought Frazier, I was like, man, I would have loved to see this fight 3 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Because he just was a different guy by then. He was way too flat-footed. It just was a different guy.
Yeah. Joe and Ali hated each other for real.
For real.
Yeah, because he was, Ali was saying horrible shit.
Horrible shit.
Horrible shit.
Well, he's trying to fuck with his head, and that's how you do it.
It worked, man. He was the original shit talker, man. When you think about it, it's like you see Conor, and you're like, that's Ali.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. There's a lot of it.
And like Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. It's like Ali and Ric Flair,
Yeah, there's a little bit of both of them there, too. Well, you remember when Henry Cooper knocked down Ali?
That was like the biggest thing in the UK ever.
Hurt him bad.
Yeah,
and then Angelo Dundee cut the gloves.
Yep.
I mean, if it wasn't for that move, Ali could have lost by stoppage in that fight. Very easily.
Absolutely.
He got fucking cracked in that fight.
Right on the fucking button.
And sat down.
He was on Queer Street.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a house on Queer Street. He was picking up the mail. Here it is, right here. Boom! Let's watch that again. Watch that again.
Ooh.
I mean, that is a fucking picture-perfect left hand. I mean, look at him.
Right on the button.
He is staggering back to his corner. And it happened, luckily for him, at the very end of the round. This was he wasn't even Muhammad Ali back then, right? This was Cassius Clay.
Correct.
So this is before he fought. Was it before he fought Sonny Liston? I want to say it was.
It was.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Who knows? They cheated him, though.
Yeah, they did.
They cheated him. It's a different world. Oh, we got to change gloves. They gave him a long ass time. Oh, we got to undo these laces. Cut this tape.
Brilliant though.
Yeah. Well, hey, Angelo Dundee. He wasn't a newcomer.
No, he was not.
He knew what the fuck he was doing.
He was great, man.
Yeah. My favorite stoppage of all Ali's fights is Cleveland Big Cat Williams, because he hit him with these just welterweight combinations.
Oh, his
bing, 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 bing.
He did it. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really. I never saw anyone throw combinations at a heavyweight like that before.
He threw combinations like Ray Robinson.
And the fluidity of them, too. Just
pull that fight up. This is it was one of my all-time favorite, because Williams was a scary fucking dude, too. He was a big puncher, and Ali was just light on his feet, dancing in front
jabbing
of him.
to the body. No one does that anymore.
Yeah, and Williams just kept pressing forward. Well, Williams was a big puncher, man.
Yeah, he could crack.
He just couldn't find Ali, and Ali was so loose in front of him. I mean, look at that. Jab to the body, hook to the head.
Hook to the head. Beautiful. He's
the
dancing
shuffle,
on him.
Yeah, boom. Check left hook, move around. And then once he started tuning him up,
the jab to the body and then back up top is beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Oh, man. Yeah.
This is art. This is art right here,
It's art,
man.
because there was never a heavyweight that moved like this. People have to realize this just didn't exist, man, and rarely does exist. The only guy who moves even remotely like this today is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury can move.
He can, and
that
he's huge.
Big motherfucker can dance.
Yeah, he can.
He dances, and he's 9 or 8 or some shit.
6'8", I think.
He's huge.
Yeah, he gets clipped a little too much for me.
He definitely gets tagged. Yeah,
he got tagged by Steve Cunningham from Philly and dropped.
That's the cruiserweight, right?
Yes, which was even crazy. I'm like, yo, his chin might not be all there.
Well, you know what? Cunningham's a shorter guy, and sometimes for those really tall fighters, it's very difficult to punch down.
That's how Mike was getting over, because he was in the chest.
And he was real low.
Yeah, I mean, that head movement and the peekaboo that, that Customato developed.
Put the end of that fight up so I could see the combinations that led to the stoppage. See, once he had Williams in trouble, go big screen.
I mean, even there, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, like once Williams' face had been jabbed off.
And Joe, the craziest thing about him is everyone historically has to sit down on their punches to get leverage on him, and he didn't.
Yeah,
he's dancing and bam, 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 and
he wasn't trying to knock you out with every punch. He was just cracking you. Pap, 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 pap.
And when you're getting peppered, that's fucking rough to deal with.
Yeah.
Man. Rough to deal with. It's frustrating. Because you're in your head, you're like, if I touch this motherfucker, I'm going to hurt him, but you can't touch him.
And you just keep getting peppered, and then eventually your legs start wobbling a little bit.
It's like trying to fight Willie Pep.
Yeah.
He was like, he had the footwork of Willie Pep in a heavyweight. It's unfucking heard of, man.
That's another guy that people forgot about. Willie Pep was one of the rare guys that won a round without
throwing
ever a punch.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yep, unbelievable. And a Dago.
Yes, indeed.
We had a lot of good ones back in the day. Maybe not so much now, Joseph. But we had a run. We had Lamada. We had Graziano.
Well, the community got established. That's the problem. People started doing well.
Exactly.
And then they get soft.
Exactly. The last guy we had was Arturo Gatti to really rep.
Yeah.
To really rep, and
Yeah, it's that's how it goes, though, right? The early immigrants are the ones who get shit on. They're the ones who come up strong. They're tough fighters, and then now it's Cubans and Russians. And,
Because
and I had my cousins like, oh, I can't believe Cowboy would do that. I'm like, do what? He got fucking cracked,
do
man.
what? People are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was upset at Stephen A. Smith and then he made a video responding to me.
Come on.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, I guess I should respond, right? You're a very entertaining guy. I like you a lot. And I appreciate the props you gave me in that video, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Cowboy got fucked up with those shoulders in the clinch. He had Conor's arms tied up, and they're in tight spaces. Conor dips low and slams this bone of his shoulder into the nose. And he's, at the beginning of the round, Conor's a fucking super explosive guy. Super explosive. All muscle, just fucking pulled tight at the beginning of the fight, and just bang, bang. He got off good shots, and Cowboy was confused.
I think he was flustered.
I
don't think that those shots maybe rocked him.
They broke his nose.
And that could rock you, I guess.
Well, he's got blood pouring out of his nose, so he's not breathing out of his nose now. And then all of a sudden, he's like, fuck, my nose is already fucked up, and he hasn't even punched me yet.
Right.
You know, it was unusual. Like, I could see if someone has a peripheral understanding of the sport and you see that happening, like, come on, man. Or even guys like Mike Bisping. Like, Mike Bisping was like, fucking shoulder strikes. Come on, shoulder strikes. But that said, Mike Bisping is without a doubt one of the toughest human beings that's ever walked the face of the planet. He's like, if he lost an ear, he'd be like, you got another ear.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. He fights with one eye. Come on.
He doesn't give a fuck. He fought a giant chunk of his career against the best fighters in the world, including winning the title with one eye.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping is a fucking dyed-in-the-wool savage.
Yeah.
So if he's like, it's just shoulder strikes. That said, the shoulder strikes didn't end the fight. The shoulder strikes definitely got him off on the wrong foot. Then Cowboy threw a kick to Conor's arms, and then Conor countered with a head kick. Rocked Cowboy bad.
That head kick rocked him good.
You see his legs go, and then Conor hits him with pistons. He hit so hard.
People could say it was a work.
He broke his fucking orbital bone.
Yeah.
And then, but Stephen A. Smith said that he felt like Cowboy quit. He did not quit. He got smashed.
You can't say someone quit after getting their nose broke and rocked and a broken orbital. You can't say he quit.
It's also who you're talking about. You're talking about a guy who has the most fights in the UFC, the most finishes in the UFC, the most head kick knockouts in the UFC, the most bonuses in the UFC. Cowboy is a fucking legend. He is as tough as they come. He's lost before. Every human can lose, especially you're fighting guys like Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal and these fucking animals that he's fighting. He's fighting the cream of the crop, or Conor. And Conor literally broke his face. He broke his nose and he broke his orbital bone. So Stephen A. Smith responded, and then Conor responded. And
I seen that.
Conor told him to apologize. Yeah. And Conor's right.
Yeah, he is right. I mean, give Conor the credit a little bit.
I think the problem is Stephen A. Smith, who's a very entertaining guy and is very knowledgeable about other sports. This is not his wheelhouse. And also that style of dismissing athletes and putting people down. Like
that's how he kind of made his name.
That's how he made his name. And it's fun to listen to. He's a fun guy to listen to.
Yeah.
He talks great shit, you know? But
I wonder, I mean, I'm sure basketball players are kind of saying the same stuff we're saying when he's criticizing basketball players, though, or football players. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know too much about that. Jamie, you're a sports fan, right? Did they criticize him too? I mean, he's respected for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's the show he was on. It's like every day he's got to wake up and give his take, and they got to talk about it for an hour or two.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of the take, it's like the controversy is like good.
Yeah, they got to
Shock
get some
value.
shit
Yes.
to talk about. Yeah, and he had a radio show for 3 hours he did after that. So like, he talks all day long. And,
Right.
Yeah, and he, and he's entertaining. That's what people like to hear. They like to hear someone passionate. You ever hear him and Teddy Atlas argue after the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah.
Because Teddy Atlas is like, Conor McGregor made the best chef in the world be a fucking fast food cook. That's it, basically how they're like back and forth. The two of them yelling and arguing. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
That's
That's his position, all right?
I just think that this sport demands more appreciation, more respect, and it demands a higher level of reverence to the athletes who literally put their lives on the line. It's different.
I don't think you have to say the guy quit to describe what happened.
No, you could just talk about what Conor did that was so special. Look, the guy finds tricky ways to do things, and those shoulder strikes. Look, we've seen guys do shoulder shrugs before, but we never saw anybody do it successfully. But you got to think about the UFC is a lot of what happens in the UFC is someone out of all these fights finally does something, and then other people start doing that thing. Like, you remember when no one was throwing front kicks to the face?
Yeah.
No one. For all those fucking years.
And then,
yep. All of a sudden, Anderson knocks out Vitor, who's like one of the elite strikers, knocks him out with a front kick to the face. And you're like, what the fuck?
And then you see everyone trying it.
Nobody ever did it. I don't remember anybody ever, even in kickboxing, people very rarely threw a front kick to the face. It just wasn't, they would teep to the face.
Body, yeah.
But even teeps to the face, it was more like
a range thing.
Yeah, like all you were like pushing his face.
Right.
Like you very rarely, unless someone caught it perfect, saw a guy get knocked out with like a snap front kick with the ball of the foot. Now
it's almost like an uppercut the way it comes off from underneath.
Dude, it's a fucking devastating technique when done correctly. I mean, Justin Buchholz got a KO with it outside of the UFC that's devastating. Lyoto Machida did that jumping front kick to Randy Couture.
Right. Yeah, that was
You knock
nasty.
out Randy Couture with a fucking front kick to the face, that's a legit technique. But then you see everybody doing that, like low calf kicks, right?
Yeah.
First guy I ever saw do it was Benson.
Yeah.
Benson Henderson really got into those low calf
He did
kicks.
it to me.
Yeah, right. Those are rough, man.
Yeah.
But now everybody throws those kicks. You got to think of how many years went by before people were not throwing low calf kicks. I guarantee you now, when people get tied up in the clinch and someone's holding someone with double overhooks or whatever, I don't remember how Conor had a hold of, or Cowboy had a hold of Conor.
Over-under, right?
Over-under, was it over-under?
Yeah.
When someone's tied up in the clinch and you can't strike, you're going to see guys do that.
100%.
Because this is a bone, man.
Yeah.
There's a fucking bone right there.
And if
that is
anything, it's
hard.
just something to distract them, to move to something else.
But this, where your shoulder, the top of your shoulder, that's fucking hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's not the ideal thing to strike with, but when there's nothing else there, there's something there. Yeah, I could see how Stephen Smith would not think that was effective. I could see. But for me, it was clearly effective. There were hard shots. There's a lot of power behind it. There's a lot of explosion. Conor dipping his level and coming up and slamming into it. It was kind of crazy.
But even if you take that away, the head kick and the punches to finish, no one's quitting there.
He's not quit. He got beat down. He got beat down and smashed by a guy who rises to the occasion. Look, Cowboy's had problems in the past with these really big fights, and he looked nervous as fuck, and he talks about it openly.
Yeah.
There was a video that they played, which I don't think they should have played, before the fight, because he had to hear that. So they're playing a video of him describing how nervous he gets before fights and how he's...
throws up, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And also about how he's kind of faking it. He's
Yeah.
pretending like he's fine, but he's not inside.
Yeah.
I'm freaking the fuck out. They played that before he fought. I'm like, why are
now
you
he's
doing
thinking
that?
about it even more.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was saying, fuck, he does not need to hear this.
That's why I'm in the locker room. When I'm in the locker room and the TV's on, I'm always like, turn that volume down. I don't want to hear anybody talking about my fight. Turn that shit down.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm cognizant of that when I see a guy in the locker room and I'm talking. I try to pump him up. I want him to feel good.
I wanted to see a boxer go to the UFC and see how
that's going to happen.
you
That's going
think?
to happen eventually. We had James Toney, of course, but James was way past his prime, and it didn't even look like he trained for that fight. I think James just took a payday, if I had to guess. And Randy just hit him with a low ankle pick, took him down. I think maybe he hit a low single. I forget what it was, but he went way low. But either way, there's not a chance in hell that James Toney was ever going to stop Randy Couture from taking him down. It's just not going to happen. He would have to catch him absolutely perfect coming in for the very first punch, and if he didn't, Randy was going to just molest him. He's going to have his way with him.
You excited about GSP?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. Quite honestly, I wanted to see him at 170. I think him versus Woodley is the fight. Like, Woodley's had 2 fights in a row where people were booing him. 3 really, because he had 2 fights with Wonder Boy that were like chess matches, and then 1 fight with Damian Maia, which was also just not the most exciting fight. But I think him versus GSP would be a very exciting fight. I think that's the real fight, because that's GSP's real weight class too. I'm interested in that. But I'm interested in the Bisping fight too, because I think it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for GSP. Bisping is a handful. He's a big fella too. Fought at 205 in the Ultimate Fighter. Fights in 185 in the UFC. He's way bigger than George. And he's gotten fucking tough, man. He's real good. Legitimately real good. And George has been out for a long time.
Yeah, what's he been doing?
Well, he's been training. He's definitely stayed in shape. He did a lot of gymnastics, did a lot of exercise. He made a shit ton of money when he was fighting. He had contracts with Nike, and he had was it Nike or was it I think he had something. I know he had something with Gatorade, but I want to say George had something with, maybe it's Under Armour. I think he's got something with Under Armour. Yeah. So he's had a bunch of big endorsements. And he's a giant hero in Canada. I mean, just giant, right? So I think for, a while he's just recovering. All those wars, all those years of getting in brawls, and then finally he got to a point where his body started feeling real good again. He's like, fuck it. Let's get back in there.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
What do you think about this Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight?
I mean, it's a spectacle. I guess I'm excited. I'm excited about it, but I feel like it's going to be another big notch in Mayweather's belt, and I don't think he needs another one. Like, well, I get a little bit. I respect Floyd Mayweather as a boxer, but it's not the kind of boxing I get excited about watching. Well, even though I know it's technically,
it's gonna
amazing.
It's gonna be a boxing match,
yeah,
for sure. It's gonna be an actual 12-round boxing match, so we're gonna get to see some sort of an athletic competition. But
I just don't see how. Yeah, sorry, I don't see how McGregor can be better than the best boxers in the world who have tried.
Yeah, he won't be. He won't be better than the best boxers in the world. But what he might do, first of all, he's definitely going to make it exciting.
Yeah.
He's gonna the trash talk is going to be fucking
amazing.
epic. It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun spectacle, and he has legitimate, scary one-punch power, and he's way bigger. So it's all about whether or not he can hit Mayweather.
Where are they fighting at? 150 something?
I don't know. That's a good question too. How much weight does he have to lose? How much is Floyd going to make him dehydrate himself?
Right.
Does he even give a fuck? Does he even respect his skills enough to make him dehydrate himself like he did with Canelo? Because he made Canelo cut a shitload of weight.
Sure.
I think he made him fight at 150. Is that correct? Find out what Floyd Mayweather made Canelo Alvarez fight, because Canelo's a big fella.
Yeah.
I've seen him in person. Him getting down to 150 is a rough suck. I think that
it's always scary when you look at these dudes and they just look emaciated before the fight.
It's terrifying.
Like Chavez. I mean, he's a tall guy, so he's.
Well, one of the worst I ever saw was when Conor made it to 145 when he fought Aldo. It was like, Jesus Christ, like he looked so gaunt and dried up at the weigh-ins, and then the next day he looks like a gorilla.
Canelo came in at 152, it says.
Okay.
And this fight is at 154.
It is at 154? That's what they're making it? Interesting. Okay, well,
this also says
Conor's not going to have a hard time making it 154.
Now this says Canelo weighed in at 168.
No, that was his last fight with Chavez Jr. Right. Chavez Jr., he fought above his weight class, actually. Chavez Jr., I think he was fighting 175, wasn't he? And he came down. Maybe there was a normal weight for Chavez Jr.
Oh, this was for the 30-day weigh-in when he fought Mayweather.
Oh, 30 days out?
Yeah, a month out.
So he was
weighed 166.8.
Yeah, well, they had stipulations in the contract, like how big he could be at certain points. Yeah. Just dirty. They just wanted to dry him out.
I mean, I'm excited. What's the what's the whole card going? I mean, are they going to have all boxing undercards? Is it? Oh,
it's a good question. I think
it'd be fun to do a little.
The only
mix
way
and
this
match.
fight is going to be interesting, skill wise, is if Conor figures out a way to maul him. He's almost got to close the distance quick, get him up against the ropes, and just hit him with shots while he's holding him. He's almost got to clip him in some sort of weird, awkward, Maidana exchange. You ever see the fight with Maidana that Floyd had, but Floyd got clipped by a big overhand right, I think it was, at the end of one of the rounds. Very end of the round, his legs dipped, whoa.
Oh, a little jig, a little wobbly.
He got a little dip,
yeah.
And it's just because he got mauled. It wasn't because skill-wise he was commensurate. And then when Floyd came back in the rematch, he just boxed his face off, just fucked him up. Because he just wanted to let him know, look, dude, I barely took you serious in that first fight. It got close, but it only got close because of this sloppy brawl. And then he just put a skill clinic on him in the second fight. Second fight wasn't even close. I think that's the only kind, but that's not how Conor normally fights. He's not like a swarming, face-first brawler type dude. He's a guy who's cautious about getting hit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thrilled about it, but I'm also I wish I knew more about your side of the tracks.
Well, we don't know enough about Conor because Conor has never had a professional boxing match. Right. And the thing is, you see his striking, but you only see his striking when he's working on kicks and wrestling and all that other shit too.
What if you just kicked him? Would that? I mean, just to do it.
Just to let him know.
Just to do it.
That would be fucked up.
be fucked up, but it would be hilarious.
Well, I think there's probably some stipulations in the contract that say you can't get him in an arm bar or choke him.
I think just kicking him in the head and knocking him out would be worth losing all the money and then getting more money after that.
Could you imagine? He would be a goddamn folk hero if they got in close. Close, and Floyd was like sucking and juking on the outside, and he threw a jab to cover up or a left high kick, and that left high kick necks him, just dang.
Yeah.
And you see Floyd go limp, and he would go limp. He'd never been high kicked like that. Jesus, that would be crazy. Because if he didn't know it was coming, he could clip him with it. Like if you had no idea, if you hid a kick behind a punch, like a lot of fighters do, they like throw a punch literally to cover your face, so the kick is behind it already, and then boom, the kick comes like while your vision is already, you're thinking about the next punch, and bang, the kick lands, and you get KO'd. It happens all the time. If he did that, that would be insane. Would it be worth it? It would, but it would fuck up everything up. Because no one would ever trust another fighter from MMA to ever fight a boxer in a boxing match again. Because we've only had the opposite happen, really.
Could they, after this, could they do an MMA fight with the two of them?
No.
No? I don't know.
Oh, my God. It would last
Don't yell
30
at me.
seconds maximum.
Really?
And that's if Conor wanted to give him an ear beating for 28 seconds. Look, Conor's so much better as a wrestler, as a submission artist, as a kicker. There's just no way he'll hit him with spinning elbows and shit. Like, there's things you can't do in a boxing match that you're not expecting. And if someone just kicks your legs once, you're going to be like, oh, my God, what the fuck? Now,
I'm just trying to think of a way to milk
Mayweather,
more money out of what's going on. I mean, you know, what's going to come in hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars this fight, right?
This is the only way. This is the only way. But this is a giant, big difference, though. Floyd would have to learn how to fight MMA style. He would have to learn how to stop takedowns. He'd have to learn how to check leg kicks, and he'd have to learn how to defend submissions, and that will take years. And he's not going to do that at 40 years old. I don't know what he knows now as far as wrestling defense and what he knows about kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or anything else. I don't know what he knows. But if he knows nothing, he's 100% fucked. 100% bet the house on it, fucked. Like, Conor might win a boxing match. I mean, maybe there's like a small percentage chance that he just runs in there and clips Floyd with a big shot and rocks him and then takes him out. I don't know what that percentage is, but if you ask a boxing expert, there's like 4%, 5%, right? That's what a boxing expert would say, which I'm not. But I'm an MMA expert. And if they fought in an MMA fight, it's 100% that Conor would fuck him up. 100%. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no chance. No chance. Conor's going to be farther away from Mayweather than anyone has ever hit him, and he's going to be kicking him in the stomach, in the legs, and he'll soften him up, and the rounds are 5 minutes long, and eventually he gets a clinch. And when he gets a clinch, Mayweather is fucked. He's going to the ground. He's not going to be able to stop it. He's going to get mounted, and he's going to get elbows force-fed into his eye socket, his nose, his mouth, his jaw, the sides of his head, his ears. He's going to get elbowed in the ear. He's going to get punches dropped down on him when he's totally pinned down and defenseless. He's going to have a knee on one of his biceps while the guy's literally on top of him, pounding him in the face. And he won't be able to get up. He won't be able to stop the crucifix. He won't be able to stop anything. He'll be tied up and smashed on the ground until he decides to choke him. So he'll be completely defenseless. So in that sense, the odds would be insane. If Mayweather decided in the next 2 months, because the fight's going to take place in August, if he decided in the next 2 months...
Which, by the way, I feel like is soon. Am I wrong?
Quick.
I feel like it's too soon.
It's very quick. Maybe it's not too soon. Maybe they've been negotiating for a long time, but at least Conor knows something about boxing, or this could be a thing. But if they just took it from now and said, 2 months from now, you're going to have an MMA fight, holy shit, the odds would be 100,000 to 1. Like, if you ask, like, any real MMA expert, they'd be like, how fucked is he? Oh, he's 100% fucked. 100% fucked. And boxing experts think that Mayweather is 100% fucked, but they'll give him a slight chance. You never know. It's crazy. People are throwing punches. You never know. Because Mayweather can throw a punch for sure, and Conor can throw a punch for sure.
Right.
Who knows what happens? Who knows? Most likely, though, Mayweather outboxes him. But you could see Conor landing something. It could be crazy.
He's just the hardest person to land. It's not just that he's the greatest fighter. He's the hardest person to land a punch against. That's why I just don't say,
Ever.
It just...
He's the best defensive boxer ever.
I don't know if you knew, but I used to do tournament fighting.
Karate style,
yes.
right? Yeah.
And the reason, what discouraged me or made me know that I didn't want to be a fighter is just what you described.
The anxiety.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was paralyzing. It was paralyzing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be frozen and it's so crazy. I mean, the last term I was with Ed Parker's International Karate Championships in Long Beach, California. And I'm ready to fight, and so my feet were stuck. And I was a Taekwondo black belt. But my feet were frozen to the fucking mat. I couldn't lift them. My legs weighed 1,000 pounds each, man. I was so paralyzed because all these people, all these people were around. And I was so afraid that I was going to do something to embarrass myself. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody's looking. And there's a bunch of matches going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But it felt like everybody was looking at me. And I'm like, man, they're going to watch me do something. My technique's going to be wrong, or I'm just going to fuck up in front of, and the fear was paralyzing. I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I'm not cut out to be a fighter, man. I just can't. The pressure just kicked my ass.
It's a hard thing to overcome.
Oh, my God.
It's hard to sort your way through it. And what's really hard for a lot of fighters is coming back from a loss.
Yeah.
They get beat up and smashed, and then they have to come back and figure out a way through, and
especially a devastating loss. A close decision, yeah, but a devastating loss.
Do you know who Raymond Daniels is?
Of course, the GOAT.
Did you see his fight this past weekend? Did you see that 720-degree punch?
I mean,
so go to Bellator, find that clip.
Man, I left.
We won't be able to show it, right?
Yeah. I can show you guys again.
Yeah, just show us. So for folks who don't know, well, one of the reasons I brought up Raymond Daniels is he's a Bellator kickboxing champion now. He lost in devastating fashion to Nicky Holtzkin, who's another world champion, and also to Joseph Valtellini, who's another world champion. So when he was making the transition from karate champion to kickboxing champion, he had some stumbling.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't go 100% smooth.
Right.
But that guy's got an iron will.
Man, stunt coordinators in movies.
Here it is. Watch this.
Look at Raymond Daniels highlights. Look at that. That's fucking
It's fucking crazy. He went for a 360 roundhouse kick.
Bam.
The dude wasn't there, and then he continued to spin further, and then boom. I mean, that is insane. That is such an insane. And to land a punch at the end of that, I mean, that is so bananas. And he landed a spinning back kick to the body right before he did that too. Yeah, I mean, he did a thing. Find the thing he did in Glory. He did a jumping side kick, spinning back kick combination where he touched him. He touched him with the front leg and then spun in the air and spinning back kick. There it is, right here. Yeah, I mean, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Here, watch how he does this. Let this go. Here it goes. Watch. He touches him. Tap. Pang! I mean, that is movie shit. And to do that to a world-class kickboxer
that's what I'm saying. I mean, the stunt coordinators are looking at his highlights, to come up with, fight scenes.
Yeah.
This dude, he does stuff that they don't even do in the movies in a real fight.
Yeah. And
I'm like, man,
he's hard to handle.
I gave a pep talk or speech to a group of fighters, and he was in the group that came out, and then I got to meet. I was like, man, I was a fanboy big time. Oh, Raymond Daniels.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Oh, he's bad.
I love watching those guys, and guys like Michael Venom Page, who's another one who has those karate skills, but then they're learning all the skills of MMA.
Yeah.
And then you see, man, if you don't know that karate style and he knows MMA, you're kind of fucked because they do shit that's outlandish.
Yeah. Now, what's the deal with marijuana in the MMA?
It's pretty much legal now. They don't
in
care
season, out of season.
Yeah, it's fine. They just they've lowered the acceptable level, or they've raised it rather, what you could have in your bloodstream. You basically just can't be high the day of the fight.
Yeah, and that's another interesting one. I mean, that acts especially THC acts on a lot of these mTOR pathways. You know, that's the same thing with a lot of these anti-aging compounds, right? Like rapamycin or metformin to a lesser extent acts on that mTOR pathway and inhibits it, right? But again, it's short term with something like marijuana, and you also get this pain killing effect. And there was, I forget if this was a study or if it was like anecdotal, but it's almost like a higher thrill-seeking effect. Like the endocannabinoid system, when stimulated, shuts down some of your sense of fear when it comes to experiencing a new adventure.
Really?
And so you actually go adventure seeking more. And when you look at like ultra runners, anybody who's competing in a non complex activity in which they might have already developed the ability to be able to be in the zone, right? They've put in their 10,000 hours of practice and they're able to just kind of check out and go into automatic mode. When you combine that with the pain quelling effects of something like, in most cases, like a THC CBD combo is what a lot of ultra runners are using. I'm not sure what they'd use in MMA right now. But ultimately, you get a good effect, but the loss of reaction time and the loss of the ability to be able to perform complex tasks, which they've proven in like flight simulation studies, dictates that it's still not that great of a drug if you're going to be doing complex tasks.
Here's the question, though. When they're talking about reaction studies, are they talking about reaction studies for people that are acclimated to taking marijuana, or are they talking about it with people where they take someone who's a sober person and they introduce them to marijuana and there's this overwhelming effect of it? Because one of the things that happens to people that aren't accustomed to THC is the freak out effect, where they're just like, they're not comfortable with the experience. After a while, the way it's described, and again, this is all anecdotal, but by people that are accustomed to it, they say you just get good at being high. And see, the reaction time thing I don't buy, because a lot of strikers, a lot of kickboxers, they train while they're on marijuana. It's very common.
I believe it. I mean, the study on reaction time was done on pilots, and there's a few more blinky lights in a cockpit than a mat. So there might have been more going on.
Sure, but that's the question is, are they experienced stoners? Or are these people that are freaking out and maybe the reaction time is they're spacing out and they don't know what the fuck this experience is like, and they might have anxiety because of it. You know, there's a lot of really overwhelming sensations that come with that marijuana high, and a lot of them, you call paranoia or oversensitivity, and sometimes you get paralysis by analysis when you're under the influence of those things. Where
it's the acute versus chronic effect.
But with jiu-jitsu, personally, my personal experience with jiu-jitsu and marijuana is it's an enhancer. And I've argued this, that I think it's a performance-enhancing drug.
With CBD? Do you combine it with CBD?
No, just marijuana.
That's what a lot of endurance athletes are, like folks in the ultra running community are using it now. Like they'll use like a trace amount of THC combined with CBD, like a 4-to-1 to a 10-to-1 CBD to THC ratio. And I think, now with the Farm Bill and increasing legality, I think this idea of developing sports performance supplements for athletes, who aren't competing in sports where that is banned, are going to be steered in the direction of like high CBD and then some of these other novel molecules, right? Like CBG or CBN.
I'm not aware of those. What are those?
Yeah, there's all these different,
cannabinoids?
Not just terpenes. Yeah, CBG, CBN, or cannabinoids. THC-8 is an anti-inflammatory that's totally different than THC-9.
Are these from orally ingesting it or from smoking it or vaporizing it?
No, they actually are now isolating these in labs, almost like organic chemistry. And you can take hemp or marijuana and you can actually isolate specific compounds and then combine them. So you could take like CBG, CBD, combine that with other terpenes from like whatever, let's say lavender and valerian and chamomile, and make like a de-stress relaxation type of compound. Or you could do like a THC but a THC-8 instead of a THC-9 and combine that with like cinnamon and peppermint, maybe some caffeine or creatine or something like that to make like more of a pick-me-up type of compound. But I think that's the wave of the future when it comes to a lot of these marijuana companies that are developing stuff for specific goals.
I know a lot of folks that are trying the CBD that use it for inflammation, especially athletes, like it with a little bit of THC. They seem to think it's more effective. There's some sort of combined effect of the THC with the CBD.
Yeah, they call that the entourage effect. When you have all the different terpenes and the endocannabinoids playing
Which one's
together.
turtle?
Yeah, which one's turtle? I have no clue.
So there's hundreds of different cannabinoids, right?
I don't think there's hundreds.
What?
I think there's at least dozens. I don't know about hundreds.
How many of them? Let's find out.
if you look at a chart of the different endocannabinoids they've actually discovered, if you were to just Google
113.
I don't know.
113. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot.
It's a lot of fucking cannabinoids.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll be able to like design something that gives you the high without the paranoia, or gives you the various effects without spacing out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But why can't they spinning back fist in boxing?
I don't know.
Should be able to.
They're purists.
They are very purist.
Yeah.
But I see where they're coming from in a certain way. Like when boxers talk shit about MMA and striking in MMA, I see where they're coming from. They're wrong because your shit won't work. Like, come try that shit.
Yeah.
You're going to get taken down, stupid. Like, this is the whole reason why they do it a different way.
But I actually do believe that a boxer with incredible footwork and a jab, a great jab, could survive and win in an MMA fight.
As long as he doesn't fight a long guy with good kicks, like a John Jones. John Jones just kicked the shit out of you from a distance.
Yeah.
And you're not even going to get close to him. And then by the time you've eaten all those leg kicks, you're not moving so good.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then he'll grab a hold of you and smash your face in.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think footwork is the key.
Do you remember when Vince Foster, when he was not quite world class anymore, he'd lost the title?
See, this is what worries me because I don't remember shit.
You don't remember shit?
Way more of a fan than I am.
Well, he fought Masato. But when Masato was the king of K1 over in Japan.
Masato, the sexiest Japanese man I've ever seen.
Pretty sexy.
Yeah, he's super sexy.
But is he sexier than Sexyama?
I don't know who Sexyama is.
What?
Pull up Sexyama.
You don't know who Sexyama is? Sexyama fought in the UFC several times. Fought in Pride.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. That's a great name, though.
He's gorgeous man.
I feel like that should be a super sushi roll.
There he is. There's Sexyama.
Oh, no, Masato's way better looking.
Yeah, you say that. You're not in Sexyama's presence. Look at that.
I like the way he glows.
Yeah, look at him. Man's beautiful.
Look at those pecs.
Yeah, and he's got that cross dangling super low. What's going on with that?
So you look.
That cross, it's almost like a belly button ring or some shit.
It's like
that's a deal breaker, right? A dude with a belly button ring. How about that? A gorgeous guy with a belly button ring.
That means he's freaky.
Is that what it means?
Or too vain.
Or gay as fuck. More likely. That's something men just never rock.
I think it means he's freaky or he takes too many selfies.
Yeah, definitely.
Takes too many selfies. Yeah.
Is that something any man has ever bravely tried to rock? I know guys do nipple rings. Like a real freaky dude will do nipple rings. You've seen a belly button ring on a male?
I think so. One time I saw a pierced.
Who's that?
That's
Masato.
Masato.
Oh, there he is. Beautiful. I thought you were showing me a belly button ring.
There's better pictures of him. There's better. He's really good looking.
Very handsome.
Yeah.
And still is.
Yeah.
And and still, is very active and all sorts of promotions and stuff
in Japan. Did you see when he fought when he was gonna fight Petrosian and Petrosian was killing Sauer?
What happened?
It was supposed to be his his
swan song.
Goodbye. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And so he's watching Petrosian I think it was Sauer destroy Andy Sauer, and he's just like,
fuck this.
He's like,
pull up Masato versus Vince Phillips, because what was interesting about this, it was like, do you remember when Shannon the Cannon decided to fight in K1 and he fought Tom Erickson in a kickboxing match? No, you don't remember? But that was a similar thing. But Tom Erickson was not. Tom Erickson was a wrestler who was an MMA fighter, and Shannon Briggs ate a couple of leg kicks and was talking about it on the podcast, like that he was trying to play it off. He was like, "God damn, that shit hurt." But he wound up KOing Tom Erickson. But Tom Erickson at the time was not nearly the kind of striker that Vince Phillips was when Vince Phillips fought Masato. Vince Phillips had beaten world-class fighters. I think, who did he beat? He beat some fucking high-level world-class boxers. And then, he got like 36, 37, 38, and then took this 37? Fight. Was he 37 at the time?
I don't know.
So he fought Vince Phillips, but it was so weird seeing Vince Phillips walk out there barefoot. I mean, they should have let him wear boxing shoes.
At least.
Because he's not throwing any kicks.
Yeah.
And Masato just give me
outfit.
Some beautiful man. Perfect bone structure.
Yeah. He's ridiculous.
Perfect hair too. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah.
Stylish.
Oh yeah.
And Vince Phillips is like, "What the fuck did I sign up for?" Yeah, that feeling that they have when they know they're
shoulder
about
pads.
to get leg kicked. So right away, he opens up inside and just moves away from the punches. Sets, goes up high a bunch of times, kicking into the arms, and then goes across the leg. See, that's a weird one, right? The across the thigh nut shot.
I never throw that one.
But this is at the time like one of the first times that a real world-class boxer had attempted a kickboxing fight. And that's
I love that he did this.
Franz Botha did that too. Do you remember Franz Botha? He was a heavyweight contender in boxing in
How much
the 80s and
time
90s.
a day do you dedicate to watching fights?
If you talk to my wife and ask her what she told me about 10 minutes ago, I will not remember what the fuck she said. There's a lot of shit that I don't remember. But I have like storage units in my brain and stuff
Fights.
like, oh, that's interesting. What happened there? This happened. Oh, why did that happen? Why did this go wrong? Oh, okay. Pull up Giorgio Petrosian versus Andy Sauer. Sauer. Is it? No. How do you spell? Oh, here's Franz Botha.
SOU.
Yeah, SOU. So Franz Botha, this is Franz Botha fat as fuck too. He had hit the wall. He was the white buffalo. He's a South African heavyweight. But he actually learned how to kick a little bit. And he was not just boxing guys, but his hands were just way better than most boxers, or most kickboxers rather. Because he was at one point in time a real heavyweight contender. This is not a good example of this.
Yeah, no, I just
Which one?
This is 2015.
Yeah, this is
Holy
random,
shit,
recent.
dude. This is 2000. This guy was a fucking contender in the 90s.
We
He's already hurt. Yeah, this is.
should have thrown a knee.
And when you're talking about this state-sponsored Russian, doping program, I mean, you have to really think and include Karelin in that because he was just a massive, massive part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
and people have always speculated for many years, like Fedor, who is arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time, was competing in Pride, which was an openly dirty league. When Pride was opposite the UFC had very rudimentary testing at the time. What they would essentially do is do urine testing at the weigh-ins, which Victor Conte famously said is just an intelligence test.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
Victor
Yeah.
well. I got to meet him. I got to know him pretty well through this.
Yeah, Victor did the podcast a few years back and was talking about it. And this is pre-USADA. Now the UFC has hired USADA and Nowitzki, and Jeff Nowitzki has done a fantastic job and unfortunately just caught John Jones, who re-won the title, knocking out Daniel Cormier. They stripped him of his title, and now Cormier is going to be the champion again. And it's so fucking confusing and distorted. Because in mixed martial arts, as opposed to even any other sport, even wrestling, your health is on the line, but nowhere near as much as it is in mixed martial arts. So the cheating, it's not a matter of a guy getting across the finish line faster than you. It's a matter of a guy landing blows, or a woman landing blows, that they would not have been able to land had they not been cheating. And it gets very, very tricky because you're talking essentially about not just illegal activity, not just cheating, but potentially assault. And what if someone dies? Like, what if someone is doping and it's proven that they're doping and the beating they give their opponent leads to that opponent dying? You can make a real argument that manslaughter charges at the very least should be filed.
Wow.
If not murder.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly,
The implications are massive.
You can certainly make that implication.
Yeah.
And and in this story, even the idea where you have thousands of athletes essentially waking up and going, wait, maybe I would have got a medal.
Yeah.
I would have got a medal. And had I got a medal, what would be different in my life today?
Would change their whole world.
Which changed the whole world. It's that is why this problem is so, I think, hard and difficult to combat, because when you look at what is at stake, the economics at stake, what the box of Wheaties essentially,
Yes.
that going in and nobody remembers second place.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. It's all one.
You win or you don't.
Yeah, you win or you lose.
And if you win, comes all the spoils. And if you're not the winner, you might as well have almost never been there.
Well, indifferent than any other athletic endeavor because essentially it is their life, but it's not professional, which is a really weird thing because you have so much money involved in the Olympics. Billions and billions of dollars are going into the hands of people who don't even fucking compete, which is insane. It's unlike any other athletic pursuit. If you look at professional sports, I mean, whether it's the NBA or boxing or what have you, the vast majority of the money goes to the athletes themselves.
Right.
Now, not in the Olympics. In the Olympics, fucking zero.
No,
which
it's
is
like
insane.
it's like college basketball.
Yeah, it's insane.
You know, it's purely an honor to be in the Olympics, to go to the Olympics, and the athletes themselves. You know, and this is why it's actually you're able to understand a state-sponsored system, which I think the American mentality is hard to understand because here we're looking at $205 million NBA contracts and sport is privatized and the athletes get paid. And that even when you go to the Olympics as an American athlete, you might be competing for America, but America is not paying your way to the Olympics. You're not on the U.S. payroll. Michael Phelps is not being paid by the U.S. government to go compete in the Olympics.
Right.
But in China, in Russia, in any essentially, you know, post-communist, communist, any sort of country like that, the athletes are employees of the government. And they're essentially state employees, and their job is to go and compete for their country, and they're being paid to do so.
I'm such a sucker for a specialist, whether it's a style bender specialist or a striking specialist or a Damian Maia specialist. I love watching the guys that are like at the tip of the ability in whatever their discipline is.
And Stylebender, man, he seems to be getting better every time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for him, it was just avoiding takedowns. Like, he was so high level as a kickboxer. He's so clever. Like, he's like, in my opinion, probably the very best in the sport at setting traps.
Yeah.
He'll like gauge you, see what you're doing, then he'll switch stances.
He's getting some information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not random. And I like the way he deals with the takedowns. I mean, he knows where he's safe and where he's not. You don't see that he's panicking. He's like, yeah, it's a minute. Let this cook a minute. But I seen what this attempt looks like. I see what this one looks like. I'm walking it through. All right, now my party's going to start.
Yeah.
Here's a guy. I talked to one of his guys he trains with. I was refereeing some fights in China. And it's one of the guys he trains with in New Zealand. And this guy was telling me so much and showing me different things about angles they do and things that they set up in their striking that I never knew or thought about. And this was before I saw him start fighting in UFC. Everybody was aware of him, but he hadn't been in the UFC yet. And man, these guys are really smart. The techniques, like this sport is growing so much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when you're seeing like really high level, super technical strikers like him, like who's a world class. I mean, as good. He easily could be world champion in many organizations as a kickboxer. To see him now in the UFC and see guys having to deal with that, it's like, oh, okay. This like the Anderson fight's a great example. We know how great Anderson is.
Yeah,
and he still looked pretty good against Stylebender, but you could see why Stylebender was special in that fight. He had like another level of trickery.
Yeah. And I mean, and stuff John Jones is doing. Yeah. But so you can't call him a specialist because man, he does so many different styles, right? It's it's really like a kung fu movie, right? Where he changes styles. And then they do something.
Yeah. Well, John's such a good kicker too. I mean, that's interesting that he started out as a wrestler because like how much of his style now is kicking you. It's a giant part of his game, his utilization of those long ass legs.
Right, and it's interesting like how much time it looks like he's getting information a lot, right? And then all of a sudden, then when he shifts gears, it's like, okay, I've gotten a lot of information, and here's what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah. He's gonna fight Thiago Santos, right?
Yeah.
Oof. That guy goes for broke. I mean, he goes for broke. It's interesting to watch him fight because you want to talk about like a wild, reckless dude. Like Santos is dangerous. John Jones should and probably will be a heavy favorite, but Santos he throws some haymakers.
No, it's a great fight to watch.
Yeah, that guy's gonna go out on his shield.
No, he puts pressure. I think the interesting thing about Well, for me, what's interesting when I watch any of the heavier guys fight is like, you know, they really have to understand where they're safe and where they're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that John does really good.
Yeah.
How to be in the pocket in the places where he's safe and, you know, knowing where,
He's the best ever at utilizing his reach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one's ever been better at controlling reach and then never letting a guy reset. When
Mm-hmm.
guys try to reset, bam, he kicks him. Bam, he kicks him again. Bam, he kicks him
Mm-hmm.
again. He's like, he knows when you're trying to get comfortable, when you're trying to settle in, and that's when he kicks you. Like, it's almost like he senses it, and he just starts battering you. Like, he sees, like, no breaks, no breaks,
break, uh-huh.
no breaks,
Yeah, yeah.
no breaks, no breaks. Like the
Speaking
Anthony
of no
Smith.
breaks, what about Max Holloway?
Oh, dude, he's the king of no breaks. He can no breaks with Max Holloway. There's no breaks.
Oh,
he
man.
just pours it on you. He just keeps coming.
Yeah.